What you doing? Diggletdreamers, you got Mathers back for the final CDL video. This is indeed the championship match between myself and Aridon. And I mean, it's going to be a good one. Aridon was a very close match during the season. I want to say preseason, but the pre-playoffs is what I meant. So I'm definitely not going to underestimate his team. I actually found out later on that this is actually the exact same team that he brought against me during our week. Was it week like 3 or something that we fought? Maybe week 4, something like that. And I didn't notice it at the time. I thought it looked pretty similar, but I'd like said to myself, like, oh, he's probably like one or two different things maybe. But he did bring in different sets on all of his Pokemon, and we'll see some really cool ones. So I brought this team here. I got Vikavolt with Roost 3 attacks, Life Orb, enough speed to outspeed things like Cofagrigus and Forretress, and the rest dumped into like HP and of course max special attack just to maximize the type of damage I can do there. I did defeat him with Swords Dance Lycanroc during our season battles, so I decided to bring a Swords Dance Toxicroak instead to just kind of maybe he over prepares for Lycanroc this time, maybe he doesn't prepare as much for Toxicroak. I brought Florges and Mandibuzz as my defensive core. Mandibuzz is max defense in an attempt to try to take hits from Emboar, but like a really max physical attack, Emboar still does way too much even to max defense Mandibuzz, which is just so scary. Basically my game plan was to kind of like play around what moves it goes for and see what I could kind of get. Like if I'm in with Mandibuzz, maybe he'll go for a Wild Charge. I can go into Nidoqueen, or maybe he I don't know. It was a tough thing to play around. He could go for a superpower, which would be good for Nidoqueen or Florges to come in on. There's a lot of things going on. And Nidoqueen could of course outspeed and KO with an Earth Power, Liquidation from Golisopod, or a big Thunderbolt from Vikavolt, stuff like that. So I had ways to take care of it. I just didn't have ways to really. I had checks but not counters is basically what I'm saying, and that's always been the same with this team. And then I have Nidoqueen, of course, with I brought a Stealth Rock, Life Orb, Sheer Force, Max Speed. I wanted to bring something more offensive, but I really wanted Stealth Rock too, because it is always great to get up that damage. Of course, it damages the Emboar, Aerodactyl, Heliolisk, all that good stuff. And then I have Golisopod with the Insect Plate, boosting First Impression. And then I have Leech Life, Aqua Jet, and Liquidation. Enough speed to outspeed Forretress, Cofagrigus, some of his other slower Pokemon that he has on his team. But anyway, let's get into the battle. So I decided to lead with my Vikavolt because I knew, looking at his team, I knew he didn't really, other than the Emboar, he didn't have anything that could straight up knock it out, except maybe like Aerodactyl with like a Stone Edge. So I was like, okay, let's go Vikavolt. Gives a pretty good chance I can just click a button. Like if he wants to lead like Hazard Setter Forretress, I can click Thunderbolt, stuff like that. So he ends up actually leading with Heliolisk, which is kind of nice for me, as I'll be able to resist the electric moves as he goes for Volt Switch. So I decided to just click a move, see what I get. I go for Bug Buzz, and it almost knocks out the Drapion, which is great. And then the Rock Slide is not able to knock me out, and leaves me with just a little bit after Life Orb damage. So here he goes into Aerodactyl, of course, fast Pokemon that has super effective stab. I'm thinking, I don't know if I can really switch out into anything, like maybe Nidoqueen, like if he doesn't have Earthquake, maybe Florges could take a hit. I don't know, I wasn't feeling great, so I thought maybe I could get a Roost off, maybe he'll miss a Stone Edge, or maybe he'll go for something that I don't expect. But it doesn't work out, he goes for Pursuit. So even if I had tried to switch out, he would have taken my Vikavolt there. But I go to Nidoqueen. I KO'd his Aerodactyl with Nidoqueen last time, so I thought maybe he'd be scared enough and I could get my Stealth Rock up, but he does go for the Earthquake and brings me very, very low. As he actually pulls a switch into Heliolisk, which was predicting my switch into Mandibuzz, which I thought, I went into Mandibuzz because he had shown Earthquake, he had shown Pursuit. I was like, maybe he doesn't have the Rock type move. We'll see. Yeah, so I go into Nidoqueen as he makes a good switch into Heliolisk, catching my Mandibuzz, and like, I gotta catch this ground type move. And then I was like, okay, I gotta make a call here. Maybe he's choice locked in some way into this electric type move, but he's not. He goes for the Surf and knocks me the hell out. So now I go to Florges. What I really should have done, because Florges can take basically any hit from a Heliolisk at once, but what it does do is bait in the Fortress. He does decide to stay on that time though. I go for the Thunderbolt, and I get Moonblast off, and now of course the Fortress is going to come out. As obviously it shows that the Heliolisk isn't really doing much to my Florges, so he's got to get out of there. I do a pretty good chunk of damage, of course racking up with Stealth Rock, but I'm definitely going into Mandibuzz here as he gets up his own Stealth Rock. I could defog, but my Stealth Rocker is gone, so I'm not feeling too good about that. And so there he actually goes for the Light Screen, which I was not expecting, and I decided to go for a Taunt just in case he was going to go for like a Reflect or something. I was like, I don't want to deal with any of this, but he just goes right for the Gyro Ball. But I do have Rocky Helmet, so he gets a little more damage there. And he actually pulls a switch into Heliolisk as I go for the Foul Play, so I'm able to knock it out. Crit did not matter, I looked it up. And now he goes into, oh my goodness, goes into Aerodactyl. Of course this is really scary, but again, I don't really have something that I want to switch into this beast. So I go for, I forget what I went for there, but I get flinched. If I had gone for Roost, obviously it would have been great, because he reveals the Rock Slide, which is not going to be doing half to me. If I had gone for the Foul Play, which I can't remember if I did or not, it would have done a lot of damage, so flinch is very unfortunate. But I can still live one more Rock Slide and get a Roost off. So maybe I can bait a miss or something. The Light Screen wears off. Keeps going for Rock Slide. I decide to go for a Foul Play, hoping for a miss, but it doesn't happen. And then he reveals the Z move, which knocks me out. But I got his Aerodactyl down to a point where rocks will knock him out. And I do have Golisopod right here to take him out with the Aqua Jet. So now it's 3-3, and Cofagrigus comes in. I don't like Golisopod in versus this thing because it's very physically defensive. It can hit me on the special side fairly well. So I definitely want to pull a switch into Florges to be able to try to take like a Shadow Ball or something. And then I can also hit back semi-hard with my decent special attack and his not as great special defense. So that is what I do. Go into Florges as he actually reveals the Memento, which lowers my special attack and attack by half and gives him the setup opportunity that he was going for. So I decide I don't know what this Emboar is going to do, but I don't really like the idea of switching into either of these Pokemon, because Toxicroak would get knocked out by basically anything, and then Golisopod would be brought to just above emergency exit range with the rocks up. So the rocks damage would bring him to 51%, and then basically any move would either knock him out or activate emergency exit. So I wasn't feeling good. I was like, oh my god, this Emboar is here, it's scary. I need to just try to attack. So I go for the Moonblast, and it doesn't do that much, and he starts cursing. So okay, not a great situation for me. What I could do here is just keep attacking, hopefully get enough damage to the point where maybe Aqua Jet can knock him out, or even because he's lowering his speed, maybe I could knock him out with Liquidation, or even well, Toxicroak actually outspeeds without any speed drops, so maybe I could lower him to a point where one of my other Pokemon would be able to knock him out. So I keep going for it. I keep going for the Moonblast. It's really not doing that much, and he keeps cursing up, which is really bad because my other two Pokemon are very physically offensive, and he keeps boosting his defense. So I'm really not in a good position here, but I probably should, in hindsight, I probably should have just switched into Golisopod immediately. Been able to he would have cursed, and I would have been able to outspeed and hit with Liquidation, and he would only have +1 defense, so I probably would have been able to do a good amount of damage. But the thing that he reveals this following turn, as I get a little damage, he reveals the Rest, which just undoes all the damage I've done, and he has the Chesto Berry, so he wakes up immediately, and I am in big trouble. and the fire punch is gonna knock me out. So he doesn't even have Flare Blitz recoil to worry about. So I'm in dire straits here. I go into Glycopod. Glycopod crit for me in the last game to win me the game, so maybe Glycopod can do it again. I obviously outspeed. I don't need to go for Aqua Jet. I can go for Liquidation. I'm just out of emergency exit range, and Liquidation still does 47%, which is pretty good, but not enough. And now all I have left is Toxicroak. I thought about it for a long time. Should I go for the Swords Dance? He could want to rest here. He could, but he could also feel like he's in a comfortable enough defense where he could take any hit. And I decided that that's probably what he's gonna do. Like he can definitely take any hit, and I put in the calculator, and he can take any hit. So my only hope here was basically to crit, which I do. Again I do it, and then his Fortress comes out, and it's just a matter of clicking Drain Punch. Gyro Ball is not going to be doing enough damage, plus I have the Black Sludge to heal me up, as well as the recovery from Drain Punch, as he actually does reveal counter, but it's not going to be able to do enough either, as he's now in range of the next Drain Punch. So basically, fate willed it so. I don't know. I had my semifinals and finals games. My opponent got a very good setup opportunity, took advantage of it, and I just got lucky against them. I'm not happy about it. I wish I had won in some other way. But it is Pokemon. Sometimes things happen, and I feel like I put in a lot of work into this league and a whole, and I'm proud of the work I've done to get to this point. I just wish it hadn't happened this way. But it is my first ever Draft League championship, so I'm very happy about that. I feel like I worked harder, and at least, I definitely played well. I think in these last two games, I definitely got lucky to the point where I would have lost if I didn't get lucky. But outside of those two moments, I feel like this was my best Draft League that I've ever played in, and it feels fitting to me to have actually earned the championship, despite how these last two battles went. So it's a very mixed bag of feelings. Like, I wish I hadn't gotten these crits so that it would be fair and even, but I'm also happy to have won. You know, obviously shout outs to Ariadon, who put this whole league together. Has always been a big influence in my Draft League experiences. Very well played. Definitely deserved the victory as much as I did. I don't know. I just don't know how to feel. I mean, if I was just looking at the battles that I participated in prior to the playoffs, I think it's definitely hands down my best performance in any Draft League, maybe even in just Pokemon in general. So I'm glad that all that work ended up here. I'm just not exactly happy about the small details that allowed me to get there, but maybe it was some kind of fate pushing its own agenda to try to justify how good I did earlier on. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel if you've been watching this whole league, or maybe not. Maybe you just saw this video. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Yeah. Hope to take part in more leagues like this in the future, and maybe I can not crit. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Keep dreaming. Bye guys!